lap of this short 2.6-mile Zandvoort circuit features 14 corners, 10 to the right and 4 to the left. The main straight is 678 metres long and heads into turn 1, the Tarzan corner. With DRS down the main straight into the braking zone, that could be the best overtaking opportunity on the track.
What's going on, guys? Beasts and Dragons here, and welcome back to the Split Screen Championship on F1 2020. This is round 12 for the Dutch Grand Prix.
Well, you know, as you can see on the screen, I'm not going to say anything. There's nothing to say except I've been shafted. I mean, back in the day, the good old days at the start of the season, I was able to fight for pole position, and here I am in P11. But there is thankfully a consolation, and that is I get a free choice of tyre for the first time this season. So you know what? We'll take it. We'll take the free choice of tyre. Of course, it's embarrassing to be P11, but obviously your strategy is a one-stop. But at least we get a free choice of tyre, so we can only hope it helps us out. We're close to getting pole.
We came second. We actually beat Dragons again. That's, I think, the third time.
Only because of the performance patch.
No. I'm still taking it, Dragons.
No, okay.
Be quiet. I'm happy with beating you 3 times in a row. So we don't have a free tyre choice like Dragons does. It's from softs to the mediums, and I think we've got a good chance to win this one. So let's get into the Dutch Grand Prix.
So here we are in preparation for the Dutch Grand Prix.
And we are underway here in Zandvoort, and it's a pretty good getaway from us. We're side by side with Hamilton into turn 1, and I think we've just got ahead of him. And yes, we do. We lead the Dutch Grand Prix.
Well, I've had a mega start. I've actually found myself up into P7 at the start. That is incredible. Meanwhile, Bottas is being pressured by Perez. He's actually been passed by Perez.
So Sergio Perez getting ahead of Valtteri Bottas. A terrible start for him. Dragons is up to P7 after the first couple of corners. What a start for him.
Well, now it's about parking it right here in P7 until our pit stop phase, and just hope I can get some decent points out of this race. I mean, back in the day I'd have a shot at the fastest lap, but because of the performance update, I'm really struggling on pace nowadays in this car. So it will be tricky, but the good thing for you is you're in the lead.
That's exactly what we needed, and we're in front of the Orange Army here in the grandstand. So we're looking to do them proud and get ourselves a chance to win the championship going into the finale in Brazil. I think Perez is actually third.
Yeah, he is actually third. He passed Bottas at turn 3. But what we do know is, I won in Monza, you didn't win in Austria. So you've got to win at least one home Grand Prix, am I right?
Yeah, so second time's going to be the charm here as we set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, just under a second clear of Lewis Hamilton, and Sergio Perez is in third place.
That is incredible. Meanwhile, Stroll doing a good job in 5th. The performance update has really helped the racing points. I'm not sure where they were in Hungary, except they were fighting me. But I don't know what happened to Perez. Was it just a bad strategy or a bad pit stop?
I'm not too sure what happened, but Perez is definitely doing the business here in Zandvoort. Currently in the podium places after jumping Valtteri Bottas at the start of the Grand Prix. We lead still, and we're going purple, but it looks like we can't shake off Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, just thinking about it, it's bad news for Valtteri Bottas to be down here. He's got a very slim margin at the top of the standings, so he's going to really need to pull up his socks and get ahead of the racing point. Lap 3 and DRS will be enabled, and I've once again found myself in no man's land, ahead of the cars behind and dropping back to the cars in front. What a time to be in a Ferrari.
Well, we're near the end of this series, Dragons, so you've only got 2 races left in that Ferrari. And meanwhile, in front, we have not got the fastest lap at the moment. We are currently half a second off Hamilton's fastest lap. So Lewis Hamilton did a 1:12.8, we did a 13.2. So he's clearly lapping faster than us at these early stages of this Grand Prix. And Hamilton needs to get ahead because remember, the 2 Mercedes drivers have the same number of points in the championship, but we've gone wide there, and Hamilton is definitely looking at us here, Dragon.
Yeah, if Hamilton can get past you and Bottas can't make any progress, then that will be absolutely brilliant for Hamilton's chances going into the final race in Brazil.
Yeah, it will. Hamilton will have one hand on his 7th World Championship, and he's definitely on the verge of becoming champion once again in real life. I mean, we all knew it was going to happen. It's inevitable. Everyone saw this coming. but we're in the lap 3, and we can't improve on our best lap time, and Hamilton is still right there. Perez is still in 3rd place, so Bottas can't get past Sergio Perez.
I love how all you guys are having so much fun in that train you're creating. Well, while I'm over here, just really casually driving through the Zandvoort circuit. I'd be pretty pleased with a P7 from P11 on the grid, but it's only that 4 of the Grand Prix. Meanwhile, there's yellow flags.
Got yellow
Oh
flags
my god,
behind
no!
us.
I think it's Perez!
Is it?
Are you
No,
kidding
it's
me?
Perez! Perez is out of the Grand Prix!
Are
Valtteri
you
Bottas-
joking?
Valtteri Bottas is up into 3rd place. It's heartbreak for the Mexican.
I cannot believe that. On lap 4, Perez did everything right at the start, and now it's all just gone into shambles just like that.
It's
Can't
absolute.
believe it.
It's absolute heartbreak. I can't believe it either. Perez could have actually got a podium in this Grand Prix, but now he's out of the race and he's not going to score any points.
Oh, Racing Point haven't been that great until the performance update. So, this was such a good chance to boost themselves in the Constructors. Now they're going to have to rely on Lance Stroll to push them forward here.
Well, Lance Stroll moves up into 4th place thanks to his teammate's retirement, and we're still trying to shake off Hamilton.
God.
And we can't even do it.
With 2 Mercedes behind you, it seems really tricky. This is now definitely a tricky scenario for Max Verstappen. Meanwhile, did Ricciardo skid or something? Because he's just lost quite a heap of time behind me. But you're still defending against those 2 Mercs, and no, 3 Mercs and another Red Bull behind you.
Yeah, the big Mercedes is involved in this fight for the lead of the Grand Prix. Hamilton tried to pass us into the Tarzan corner. He couldn't get the job done around the outside. We're still leading, but we've literally got 8% of us left.
Even I have a bit more urge than that. But let's just ignore me. Just keep looking at the top screen. Because my race has been fairly standard, really, but you are under a lot of pressure to try and win in front of the Orange Army, and it would be a great result, and it would be a great consolation for your lost win in Austria.
Well, that's true. We did lose in Austria, but we almost gave Hamilton the position, and now he's got DRS going into this chicane. Can Hamilton get the job done around the outside? We squeeze him out on the outside line. Bottas can't take advantage because it is quite difficult to overtake around this track.
Absolutely, so most of the cars will be following. I think Albon is losing touch of those Mercedes cars.
Here he is. Albon's kind of fallen back, so great job, driver number 2. Great number 2 driver here.
He's really giving you a lot of support to try and hold on to the lead of the Grand Prix. But remember in Hungary, how the Mercedes basically flew away from you in that race. You're going to have to really try and keep them behind. Otherwise, your chances of the win are going to be low. It's like your amount of errors.
Yeah, true. I mean, we've managed to get some of those back, but we're trying to save some and defend at the same time. It's pretty difficult, but at the moment, we're still ahead of Lewis Hamilton on lap 7.
You'd be forgiven for thinking that I'm actually defending quite hard as I'm on the medium tyres to Ricciardo and my teammate who is also in the points. A double points finish is a miracle at this point. But no, actually, I'm just having a pretty fairly boring race. I'm just waiting for Ricciardo to try and challenge me for this P6.
Well, Dragons is unfortunately for him, he's looking backwards rather than forwards. And speaking of looking backwards, Lewis Hamilton's onto us again. Again going into the chicane. We again managed to fend off, but we go wide in this corner, but we're still ahead of him. I don't know how we're doing this.
Oh, you've definitely been taught by me, or you've maybe learnt a lesson from me or two, because I always have to defend in a race, no matter what kind of race. And you're kind of using those defending skills that you never have to use. It's kind of crazy to see you defending for once.
Well, here we are, the whole 2020. Anything can happen this year. Lance Stroll got pole position in real life.
Oh, here goes Ricciardo, looking to go down my inside. I have to give him the room, but I should have a bit more grip on the outside line to stay.
So we cut onto lap 8 in its pit stop time here in Zandvoort, and I think our teammate has just caught up back to the pack here.
Oh yeah, it's not been the greatest lap for you. Meanwhile, look at the train I'm holding. We've got a bunch of different colours. We've got red, we've got dark blue, and we've got yellow and orange. I think I can only assume it's science, but I'm not entirely sure. Meanwhile, surprisingly, no one else is pulled into the pits with you.
Right, so we're pitting first. Medium tyres going on. Beautiful pit stop from the Red Bull team. 2.5 seconds, and meanwhile back on track. Dragons again trying to fend off the Renault of Daniel Ricciardo, and he's still ahead for now.
Yeah, did a good job of it there. This is the first time I've been in the top 5 all race. So yeah, pretty cool moment there, but you obviously making your pit stop are going to be ahead when me and this whole train make our own pit stops. But Verstappen now on the medium tyres, and you can just only hope you can find some sort of pace here that will get you a win. Especially with the Mercedes still out on track, they're going to be pushing like madmen.
Well, for us, it's more than just winning this Grand Prix. It's about the championship, because we are literally 26 points behind both Mercedes drivers with 2 races to go. So a win would definitely give us a better chance of walking out of Brazil with a championship.
It's an extremely slim chance, but it would be nice to see a 3-way fight, especially with you in there. You've got a car that can fight for pole position. Maybe you could just keep annoying and irritating those Mercedes. Maybe they'll get damaged at some sort of point. Meanwhile, you're I was going to say slowly, but you're quickly catching me in my train.
Well, you're holding up a train? I mean, that's something we have never seen before.
Are you
definitely.
sure?
Anyway, lap 9, on to lap 10. My teammate has just pitted along with...
That Mercedes is in the pits.
There's a Mercedes coming out, and if they're ahead of us, then we've got problems. But we come into turn 1, and we are ahead. It's Hamilton who pitted first.
So you got a good enough outlap there to be able to stay ahead. But let's just remember, I'm in second. It's unbelievable stuff for Ferrari. Well, I can only imagine if we were on the mediums and we'd made our pit stop and we were this far ahead. Just imagine the scenes going on in the garage if that was the case.
Well, Dragons moves up to second place, still yet to make its pit stop. And it's going to be quite interesting to see where you come out ahead of after you make your pit stop.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to be probably in the middle of that huge train I was holding up if I can't pick up the pace. But I'll be on the soft tyres, so I can only hope I'll find some sort of confidence with the car on those tyres right now. But, well, the good news for you is that you are ahead of Hamilton. You need to be ahead of the Mercedes. You know they're quicker than you as well.
That is true. We are still ahead of Hamilton. I think he just made a mistake. He's completely fallen off the map. I think he made a massive mistake on the exit of that chicane. So we've got a bit more breathing room to ourselves. And now it means we can carry on pushing.
We're going to be in the lead. We're in the lead of the Dutch Grand Prix. And you will be ahead of Valtteri Bottas. And will Bottas be ahead of Hamilton after his mistake?
I think he is.
Oh my God.
Ahead of Lewis Hamilton. So that costly mistake from Hamilton on his outlap. He pushed too hard. He made a mistake. And now Bottas is ahead of him.
That's unbelievable. But anyway, some negotiation with you. Would it be nice to have a fight with you? Even if it's a short one. Even if it's a short fight. How about a fight? How about a fight?
Get out the way.
I doubt you. I'm not. Why would I doubt you're going to catch me? You probably are going to catch me by the end of this lap. But I'm pitting in anyway. So I'll be out of your way in no time.
Thanks, Dragons, for kindly moving out of the way. Knowing that you're not a contender for the championship.
What, do you want me to slow down at the side of the track like Bottas is James?
Please don't. I'm quite scared now. Anyway, lap 11, and I am kind of scared.
After Camille and F1 2012, you have every reason to be scared. But I'm pulling into the pits this lap, and somehow I've actually gone 11 laps without cutting a corner. So, some character development. Then again, it's impossible to cut a corner in Zandvoort into the pit lane, not damaging my front wing in the process, and going 29 miles an hour and into the pits.
Well, sometimes, Dragons, it's better to be safe than sorry. As soft tyres go on to that Ferrari. And the question is, how many places can he make up with just 7 laps to go?
Well, let's see where we come out first. There's a Renault there. That should be Ricciardo. If it's Ocon, I'm going to cry. It is Ricciardo, who will be ahead of me. Just about ahead of me, as I have made a dismal attempt to try and stay within the white lines. But to be honest, I thought I was going to be a lot further down the field. I'm pretty chuffed with being down in P7. That is not even bad. Meanwhile, Ricciardo is struggling for grip on those medium tyres.
Yeah, so Daniel Ricciardo did start the race on soft tyres. He's going to the end on medium, so Dragons definitely has the tyre advantage. But the question is, will that tyre advantage translate into some solid pace that could help him overtake the Renault?
You never know. Meanwhile, Seb is still in P8. I'm pretty sure he's been P8 for the entire race here. But I could get close enough. Ricciardo is squirming in that Renault, but he's just about not lost the car. But I should be wary of a mistake soon, because it really looks likely, especially with me pressuring him as well. And oh, he did not spin there. I was getting prepared for that. But well, you're in the lead on lap 13. Looking to take your 3rd or 4th?
I think it's 4th of the season. I think this might be the most crucial one out of all the victories.
I hit the wall. How did you hit the wall there? I mean, I wasn't close enough to make the move on Ricciardo. So it's now lap 14, coming towards lap 15 of the race. and I'm just about struggling to keep up with Daniel Ricciardo. I'm just waiting for him to make a mistake. Meanwhile, your gap to the Americans become bigger.
Yeah, we just recorded, and I think one of the Mercedes made another mistake. God. I think it might be Bottas or Hamilton, but they're falling back into the clutches of our teammate, Alex Albon.
Imagine if Albon finally gets his first podium. Meanwhile, I've done a personal best, but again, I'm just not quick enough in the straight line. I've got all the grip in the world, and Ricciardo's got less grip than me, but he's just about keeping ahead of me in the straights.
Well, Daniel Ricciardo just about hanging on to P6 at the moment, struggling on those medium tyres, and we are comfortably in the lead at the moment, on course to take our 4th win of the season and give us a chance to become world champion at the end of the series in Brazil. And Dragons is right all over the back of Ricciardo.
Yeah, I've got it in the corners. I just need a bit of power, a bit of urge. Every time I'm using urge, it's like I'm matching that Reynolds straight line speed. So it's a bit annoying, really. I can get ahead of him, but I just need a bit more power in this car.
Well, you know what they say, patience is a virtue. Maybe you might have to wait until the last lap of the Grand Prix to get that Renault and get 6th place, but Sebastian Vettel is definitely looking punchy right behind you in 8th place.
Yeah, definitely. We're all looking to try and gain at least one position, except Ricciardo, who is looking to try and keep his position. It's important that I push, but it's important that I don't make a mistake, as a mistake would definitely be very fatal for my chances of points.
Yeah, it would be. You're currently 7th. You won't want to damage your front wing or crash or anything else. Otherwise, you won't be scoring any points in Zandvoort. And you're again getting closer to Ricciardo into the Tarzan corner, but you can't maximise it on the straight.
Yeah, it's now getting a bit infuriating, but we just need to wait for a moment where we can catch him out. And maybe this is the moment. No. Look at that. I just can't get close enough to him. I got a good exit, but no matter what I try, I cannot get near him on the straights. I'm going to have to be aggressive in the corners.
Well, you're going to have to do your best, because we've only got 2 and a bit laps to go here in this Dutch Grand Prix. We're still leading, and the Mercedes are still 2nd and 3rd. Albon's still 4th, and Stroll is 5th. I think. Yeah, he is. I just saw a big dot on the mind map, on the mini map. On the mind map. The mind map. I don't know what I'm on about. On the mini map, just there. I think Stroll has fallen down to 5th. So Albon is 4th with a chance to get a podium, and Dragons is fighting for pride and 6th place at this moment in time.
Well, to be honest, I'll be pretty happy with 7th, but I really would be excited by P6. But the thought of it is really getting quite dull here. As just look, he's pulling away from me on the straight.
Even with DRS.
It is really quite concerning for me, but you know what? Maybe I would be happy to settle for P7. I've shown a bit of pace. I've tried my best in this car. So we'll just maybe take it back to the briefing, maybe.
Well, I'm getting flashbacks of Abu Dhabi 2010, where the Ferrari
for God's sake,
behind the Renault.
You just had to mention that, didn't you?
I had to, alright? It was there, alright?
Stuck behind the Renault.
Yeah, well, stuck behind the Renault.
Well, we have got the pace. We just don't have the straight line speed. We've said that about 15 times in the last 3 minutes, but it's absolutely true. You see, I've gone green by 4 thousandths there. But, well, enough about me and trying to get ahead of Ricciardo and losing tyre wear here as I go wide. Sebastian Vettel wanted a chance there, but we were not going to make it easy for him. And back to you. You are now starting the final lap of the race.
Yeah, we are. We are coming towards the final lap of this Dutch Grand Prix. We are still leading after the Mercedes. We managed to jump Lewis Hamilton in the pit stops, but they are kind of reeling us in here. I am starting to see the error behind us, so we're going to have to make sure that this last lap is very clean and we don't make any mistakes. Otherwise, we could risk losing the Dutch Grand Prix. And speaking of losing, Dragons might have just lost 7th place, and he has over his teammate. He tries to dive him back in at turn 1, but Vettel is up. It's a 7th place.
Well, we did learn our lesson from USA. Let's not go for dive. Remember, this is my teammate. After all, it would be quite annoying to crash with him. So you know what? We'll let Sebastian go. Maybe I should have considered letting him go earlier if I knew if he had the pace to try and get with Ricciardo.
Right, so Dragons falls down to 8th place, but I still think it'd be a decent result considering where you qualified, which was 11th, outside the top 10. But your teammate's going to get on you in the championship. And speaking of the championship, this race has been very crucial for the championship. Bottas is ahead of Hamilton as we speak, so Bottas will be 2 points ahead of Hamilton going into Brazil, and we have a chance to win the championship in Brazil, because we are going to come through and win the Dutch Grand Prix in front of the Orange Army. What a feeling for Max Verstappen. It's a second and third place finish for Mercedes. And what a way to end the Dutch Grand Prix.
Well, it's just brilliant knowing if that the Mercedes keep bottling things, that you will be on top of it. And I'm coming home for P8. I'll take some decent points. But what's important is Red Bull have taken full advantage of the Merc mistakes and have taken the win in Holland.
Well, there you go. Max Verstappen on top of the podium again, and Valtteri Bottas is 2 points ahead of Hamilton going into the Brazilian Grand Prix. But right now, we are celebrating the race win.
Absolutely. Well, of course, it's a slim chance for you to win, but at least you've got an opportunity. If everything goes your way, you can find yourself winning the championship.
Right. You know what? After saying Bottas was 2 points ahead, he's actually 4 ahead because he just got the fastest lap from Lewis Hamilton. He stole it from him. So now Valtteri Bottas is 4 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton going into Brazil.
If you think about it though, Albon was quicker than you. What have you got to say about that? Look at his fastest lap, it was much quicker than yours. Don't even talk about mine compared to Bell's. Don't even talk about it, but that, guys, is the end of today's video.
Feel free to like, comment, follow, subscribe if you are excited by the return of Split Screen Championship for the 15th time. And the finale will be coming soon in Brazil. So make sure you're looking forward to that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you are new for more Formula 1 content. And we'll see you later for Brazil. Goodbye.